Hi everyone, today we're discussing the top 5 compelling reasons why you should consider building an ADU in your backyard. I'm Paula.
I'm Jake.
And we're from London ADU. All right, let's dive in.
All right, number one, and this is the one we get the most inquiries about. So it's multi-generational living. So in this situation, a lot of clients thinking they'll build this and move into this unit and have their kids live in the main unit.
Yeah, so with the house prices,
interest rates,
everything, going up, it's becoming harder and harder for younger families to afford to live in, maybe like a neighborhood like they grew up in. So this is a good option. So, like I like to use our neighborhood as an example. We're in the northeast end of London, and a lot of people who have moved into this neighborhood are young families like us. And a lot of them have grown up here. They went to the same schools, and so it's important to them to come back to these neighborhoods. But unfortunately now, the prices have essentially doubled in the last 5 years from,
doubled and then some, really.
So going from being, affordable to now being pretty hard to afford, especially with the young family and all the expenses. So one of the solutions to that we're finding is that, parents living in the home that these families, like the kids, grew up in, are now considering building an accessory dwelling unit in the backyard. And whether the kids move in the accessory dwelling unit or they move to the accessory dwelling unit and then giving the house, I wouldn't say giving the house, but having the family, the young family, live in the house. So lots of options for that. And it does, it simplifies things, and it cuts the cost down drastically. Sure. So now you can live in these neighborhoods.
And it's basically free land.
Yes.
And you're sharing, property tax and all that things. So
I mean, it's
a great option.
It's very, 100%. It's smart.
Yeah.
Okay.
Number two.
Yeah.
Similar to number one, and it's age in place. So you have a lot of people that don't want to leave the neighborhood that they've spent, 50, 60 years in. So they're looking for options. Accessory dwelling units, they can be accessible.
Yeah, absolutely. So like if stairs are an issue, or your house is too big and you want to downsize, but you don't necessarily want to give up your neighborhood and your neighbors and all the things that you've come to love and living there for the last 50 years. So now you can have your own smaller, it'll be brand new house in the backyard. So
all the features you want.
Yeah, you're not giving that up.
Anything you need.
Absolutely. It's a great option.
For sure.
I would say these two are the top 2 reasons why people are building. And then the other 3 are still great options, but maybe less popular.
Number 3, we see a lot too. I'd say not as common, but that's for rental income. And you see people renting them out either short-term or long-term.
Yeah, so this is a great option for sure. Generally, like when you're investing, people years ago, it doesn't really exist in Ontario anymore, but people wanted the 1% rule, meaning the cost of the property, you could use the 1% of that, and that should be your rents.
Yeah, for example, if you paid $500,000 for the property, you'd want it to rent out for $5,000 a month.
Right, which it's hard to find a property for $500,000 these days, and if you do, it's certainly not going to rent for $5,000 a month. Where when you have an accessory dwelling unit, you can accomplish that or come pretty close.
Sure. Yeah, so on new acquisitions, that's good. Or if you own a property, people that own a property, say it's a 2-unit, even a 3-unit now.
Yeah.
You can do a 4th unit or 3rd unit in the back, and it's essentially, like I said before, almost like free land.
Yeah.
You spend X amount of dollars, and you should almost hit the 1% rule on that specific unit.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, reason number 4.
Number 4. You want to do this one, Paul, or?
You go ahead.
Guest house. So again, not as common, but you do see this, and it kind of speaks for itself. Just guest house. But with that guest house, you could also, when you're not having guests over, if you have family that live abroad and aren't here that often, you could also rent that out short term.
That's what I would do with a guest house. Like if a
100%.
Guest house was a priority for me, I would, obviously it's going to be furnished already because you have it as a guest house. So in the, when you don't have guests there, put that thing on Airbnb. It would do really
Amazing.
well.
Yeah.
And so then you're kind of combining the two, you're getting rental income. But with the flexibility of having it vacant and available for when your guests are coming, or if you were just doing straight, long-term rents, the landlord-tenant board still applies. So if you had guests coming, you can't ask your tenants to leave so your guests can stay. So this is a good option, kind of combining a way to have income and have space for your guests. And I will say being an Airbnb host, I love it. I like having it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's been fun. Okay.
All right. Coming in at number 5, let's say the least, at least in our opinion, the least common use, but also very awesome. I would do this for sure. Is home office / gym. Or you could even use it as a studio if you're an artist. But so not really generating a whole lot of income. That's more for personal or business use.
Yeah.
But something you can do if you have the size availabilities, you could have a home office and gym mixed with a living unit. So you could have that either long-term income, long-term rent income, or short-term rent income.
Yeah, I do think too, like if you already say like are a work from home type of business, but you are in an office, like you can move your business home. Like this could be beneficial, right? Because then you're cutting down on like paying rent or owning a second building elsewhere with taxes and utilities and all that stuff. And then home gym, probably not super common, but I mean this could apply to like if you are a yoga instructor or a personal trainer and you can kind of create your own backyard business.
Yeah, and I said before,
same goes for a studio. Like if you're an artist, like you can create income from this. It's just not as
direct,
I would say, simple as these other options. So,
and with the square footage options that you have here in London, you could definitely do a flex space with if you had a basement, you could have a living space in the basement and have your home office or gym or studio in the upper.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, that's it. There's our top 5 reasons why you should consider building an ADU in your backyard.